Texas fertility doctor Dr. Kim McMorries has been caught secretly using his own sperm to impregnate clients. Drive. McMorries, who runs a small clinic in Nacogdoches, Texas, has now defended his actions, claiming they were acceptable in the 1980s. "I had no idea, 33 years ago, the importance of an offspring's desire to know their biological identity. At that time, the anonymity was supposed to be permanent," he added. Daily Mail reports, a Texas woman's world was turned upside down when she took a genetic history test and learned that a sperm donor she believed was her father wasn't her dad. Her mother's fertility doctor was. Eve Wiley, 31, spent years looking for her father after she learned she was conceived by artificial insemination in 1987. 14 years ago she traced her mother's sperm donor Steve Scholl, known as donor number 106. And over time they've built a loving father-daughter relationship. But that relationship was rocked when she took genetic history tests on 23andMe and Ancestry.com and learned that her true father was fertility doctor Drive. Kim McMorries. "I said OST. That is my mom's fertility doctor. I think at that point I was just in shock. I was in shock," Wiley said on learning her true father's identity on ABC's 2020. McMorries had quietly mixed in his sperm with that of the donor after the donor's sperm failed to impregnate Wiley's mother Margot Williams after 5 tries. He used his own sperm that he donated to a sperm bank from his medical school days, and succeeded in getting her pregnant. But he didn't tell a soul. Margot Williams, pictured, was artificially inseminated by her fertility doctor Drive. Kim McMorries after Williams and her husband experienced fertility problems, but the truth finally came to light when Wiley decided to learn more about her family and medical health history and took the genetic 23andMe and Ancestry.com tests. The hits, however, didn't match that of her believed sperm donor father Scholl, who she spent years developing a close relationship with. "I call him Dad. We say I love you," Wiley told the Dallas Morning News, referring to Scholl. "We spend holidays together and he actually officiated at my wedding." The hits of her genetic family tree matched her to someone in East Texas, where neither Scholl or his family ever lived. After she found a biological first cousin and traded information, she learned the truth. "I have one uncle," her first cousin said when Wiley asked him about his family. "He lives in Nacogdoches, Texas, and his name is Kim McMorries. I said OST, that is my mom's fertility doctor. I think at that point I was just in shock. I was in shock," Wiley said on ABC's 2020. Neither Wiley nor her mother ever knew that McMorries had used his semen in the procedure. Drive. McMorries pictured carrying Wiley moments after delivering her in 1987. The family even has a picture showing McMorries carrying her in his arms after delivering her. "It looks like he's holding me like a prize. You can see him smiling through his mask with his eyes, and he's holding me up. It's his little secret," Wiley said on the photo. Sharing the hard news to Scholl and her mother broke Wiley's heart. "Having to tell Steve and having to tell my mom. Those were the 2 most difficult conversations I have ever had in my life," she said. "I was just in shock. I was shaking. I couldn't believe it. I really trusted him," her mother Margot Williams said. "Having to tell Steve and having to tell my mom, those were the 2 most difficult conversations I have ever had in my life," Wiley said on breaking the hard news to Scholl. Finally, Wiley confronted McMorries in a letter explaining their genetic connection. McMorries then replied in a letter saying that donor 106 failed to impregnate Wiley's mother 6 times, leaving him to resort to mixing donor 106's sample with another local sample. Mixing was a practice he claimed he learned in medical school to increase the chance of conception. The doctor claimed that Williams was on board with the mixing plan. When Williams is asked if she knew he was using local donor sperm, she shook her head and says, "Absolutely not. That never happened." She said she didn't want to mix to avoid the chance of Wiley growing up and discovering she had a half-sibling in town. Nonetheless, McMorries fetched his own sperm from his donor days back in medical school and continued with the fertility treatment. Though McMorries declined to be interviewed for the ABC special, he maintains he couldn't tell Williams that he was using his own sperm because of an anonymity agreement he signed when he made the donation. He argued there is no law that requires the disclosure of donor identity. In Texas, the act is not considered a crime as the state does not include rape by deception charges. But Wiley wasn't satisfied and asked if he had inadvertently fathered any other children in the same way. The doctor said he knows of 1 to 2 other women who became pregnant after he mixed his semen in with the donors. It is easy to look back and judge protocols/standards used 33 years ago and assume they were wrong in today's environment. Drive. McMorries wrote. However, it was not wrong 33 years ago as that was acceptable practice for the times. Drive. McMorries still runs an obstetrics, gynecology and infertility clinic in Nacogdoches called the Women's Center. Its website says the clinic offers conservative values with personal health. His lawyer defended him saying, Drive. McMorries is a good and fine man who is an excellent, well-respected OB/GYN. He has a reputation for trying to help his patients as much as he possibly can. Baxter Dimitri is a writer at Your Newswire. He covers politics, business and entertainment. Speaking truth to power since he learned to talk, Baxter has traveled in over 80 countries and won arguments in every single one. Live without fear. Email, baxter@yournewswire.com. Follow, @Baxter_Dimitri. Latest posts by Baxter Dimitri. See all. Let's block ads. Why?